It is a brand new edition of Hockey and Hounds. We got a great senior dog we're going to discuss today with Flyers head coach John Tortorella. This show brought to you by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Torts, welcome back home. The start you get off to, obviously, is not ideal. Sometimes a start to a season and a tough week from a result standpoint can feel different than it happening in the middle of the season, doesn't it?
Yeah. You want to get guys with confidence. You want to have the team confident in our concept. I don't think we've played to a 1-3-1 record, but the one that's in obviously my memory right now is our first home game, and it's a tough game for us coming off a road trip that we did and only really basically being back here on East Coast time for less than 24 hours. It's a really tough schedule, but it just as we play our first 5 games, there's a number of things that's a little worrisome to me as far as our just our hardness in all areas, and it's something we need to get turned around pretty quickly.
Towards it's hard to kind of develop a rhythm in a lot of these games too. It feels like you're on special teams all the time. It's either the power play or the penalty kill. It's been insane.
Yeah, we're an undisciplined team as far as the penalties, the stick fouls.
What's that? Just not moving your feet?
Yeah, it's not moving your feet, and it's not basically understand the rule book. You put your stick lateral, they're going to look to call, and we can't absorb all the penalties. Garnet Hathaway, I love him as a player. You know that.
Yeah.
And he's such a good player for us. He's getting carried away, right? And now the refs, they have meetings before games too and talk about other teams. He's topping their list.
Yeah.
As far as some of the stuff going on with him, he's got to discipline himself and play hard the way he does, which I have a tremendous amount of respect for. But between the whistles, enough of the bullshit.
Yeah.
We just can't be sitting in the box the way we are.
It's such a fine line between being a difficult team to play against, doing everything hard, but stepping over that line, just dialing it back that 1 or 2% could be the difference.
Yeah, and this is my point with our team right now. I don't think we're playing hard enough, and we're still taking penalties. Okay,
so that's double.
Yeah, so that's where I just think we need to be more difficult to play against. Certain individuals more than others, but within the team identity, I don't think we're hard enough. And we're going to have to play harder, and we're going to have to play more disciplined.
One of your identity traits that you look for is that defensive structure. Is this an opportunity now to really kind of teach from the crease out right now for you guys?
Yeah, we have a pretty important video we're going to show this morning to start. You know, we have shown it. You're going to make mistakes. Early in the year, there's always a lot more mistakes, and you get into the middle of the year. But there's some mistakes being made by people that know how we play in our end zone, and I just think it's a little bit of lack of concentration in some very important areas of the ice.
Can the road and that trip, and I don't want to make an excuse, but can that lend to a lack of concentration?
Yeah, I think what happens when you come off a road trip for 12 days, a couple of time zone changes, and you usually have a day to be at home, a day to practice, then play. We didn't have a chance to practice. We barely got home to play the game, basically.
Yeah.
We got home late in the afternoon prior, and I couldn't bring him in the morning because the time zone.
Yeah.
I think we're in a little bit of a fog. I think ended with a little brain fog, if I can put it that way. But you know what? We got to figure it out. The home game, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but was not good. But just the trip itself, I just think we're testing the waters here and not going in and basically forcing our will on other teams. That's the only way we can play, is to be ready to go right after teams and check forward and just be harder to play against. I don't think we're there yet.
I thought Sam Ersson really had a lot of awareness, knowing you guys coming off that trip in that first period, in particular the Vancouver game. He was excellent in the period, only gives up the 1 goal, keeps you guys in it. But he seemed to want to slow the game down at every opportunity to kind of wait for his guys to get their legs.
Yeah, I think Sam has played very well as the season started, played very well and does have that awareness. I every time you mention Sam Ersson to me,
you light up.
I do. Because I think his mental the mental part of the game, I think he's really strong there. And that's, you know me, I talk about it all the time. That's a real interest of me, is the mind. And I think he's got a strong mind.
You would think that he was getting paid per cover of the puck in that first period.
Yeah, I know.
He was slowing it down. I mean, it was a long period. The defensive structure is not where you want it. We mentioned 5-on-5, but let's talk about the special teams real quick, because you do come out of the trip in the first 5. PK's been good.
Yep.
And a couple of 5-on-3 goals. That's a tough situation. But the power play has been good. Those are 2 areas you need, but you need to couple that with that 5-on-5 play if you really want to make hay.
Yeah. We're, the weakest part of our team for the past couple, for a little while here has been our power play. And you see signs of that growing. I think Jamie's helped that with his lateral movement. Mishkov has helped that. The thing I like about our power play is I don't see him stuck in their position. Okay, I'm here for a one-timer. I'm over here, guy in the middle. There's a lot of movement with and without the puck, and they're exchanging positions. I think that's, and I think it's a credit to a couple of new people being on it with Jamie and Mish, and so hopefully we can keep on trying to stay steady, at least get opportunities from that. But our 5-on-5 game's got to be better.
I remember Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, always said, move the ball as much as you can, because every time you move it, the defense has to make a decision, and eventually they're going to make a mistake. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah. If you're stagnant and you're just moving it, and people are stuck in their spots,
it's easy.
They're not moving that much. Okay, they're just fronting. Okay, you move it over here, I'm here. But when you get bodies and the puck moving at the same time, they have to make decisions, and that's where you can break down into an odd man situation.
How's the adjustment been just to being an NHL player so far for Jet and Matvey?
Yeah. I think Matvey has played at in a league, and I think he feels a little bit more comfortable. But he played
with men.
Yeah, he did. And Jet's a player that we've thrown a lot at him. It's been. He's put in some really good minutes, has had some struggles in other areas away from the puck, and it's been a little inconsistent as we've kept on going here, but he's going to be a really good player.
Yeah.
Matvey has played with men before. So both of them have been really good, and then and Matvey included have struggled at certain times too.
Sure.
To be expected for an 18 and 19-year-old kids.
Transition game was something that you brought in last year. Frankly, it shocked a lot of us. What is going on here? They're flying up the ice. We haven't seen as much of that this season. Is that teams taking that away, or is that guys not playing fast enough?
I don't think we're playing fast enough. And it goes down to making it harder on when you make it harder on a team and you check forward, and you're breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up plays in the neutral zone. You're backing them off, and that's when you can play fast. It's playing fast with the puck is predicated by how you get the puck back, how quickly you get it back. And we've got to do A before B. We've got to check forward and be a little bit harder as far as creating turnovers.
You have a couple back-to-backs this week, back-to-back with Washington, a home and home, and then back-to-back home games this weekend. That maybe softens that back-to-back situation at 1 o'clock and a 7 o'clock.
Yeah. The first month here, we'll have 3 back-to-backs within the month, right? And West Coast trip, 12 days. It's a hard schedule.
Yeah.
And,
I can't do anything about it, right?
No. Listen, when you don't have respect in the league, and the Philadelphia Flyers do not have respect in the league, we don't. We're trying to gain it, but and I've said it to you. This is what I love about the league. You need to earn your way. Yeah. If we become a good team, we'll get a better schedule. And the NHL office will say, no, that's not the way we do it. Bullshit. It's been this way forever. You're the second thought. When you're not respected in the league, you're the second thought when it comes to scheduling. And we're in that. So we've got to handle it and do it the right way.
Yeah, there's a reason why Edmonton opened up with 4 at home.
Yeah, they'll say no. And I'm not running down the league. It's just the way it's been forever.
Yeah.
And that's part of we make our bed. We've got to get out of that area and get some respect in this league.
You want to not deal with it? Earning that respect back, you got to do it on the ice. Let's talk about our dog this week, because we've got a senior dog this week. Last week we had a dog, and we said, this dog's in its prime. This dog's around 12 years old. Dog's name is Chessie. She comes to us via the PSPCA, about 72 pounds. Very interesting mix of 2 dogs, a boxer and a Weimar runner. I love boxers. And I love Weimar runners. They don't shed a whole lot either. But What a beautiful dog. I'm going to show you the video here because Chessie's situation was horrible, absolutely horrific. She was rescued by the PSPCA enforcement from a neglect situation. She was in, I'm not sure if the house was abandoned, but other animals in there, excrement all over the place, not being nourished properly. And a good Samaritan led the PSPCA to this dog and with a tip. And that's important too. If you know a dog that's being neglected, that they can help save, you can always do that as well. That's another great thing you can do for this animal.
Look at her.
Yeah. She looks great though.
Yeah. Yeah. She, when you show me the picture of her, you could see that she hadn't been eating that well, but she looks better in the video here. But if I know it's early in our program this year, but I can tell you right now, this is the one we need to focus on, because who knows how long she's been in that type of situation along with the other animals. It's amazing to me how people are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get on a soapbox, but you and I, my wife Smitty, we're all involved in this animal welfare, right? And you hear all these stories, and you try to explain it to people, and you just don't know how often these stories come up, right?
Yeah.
I just can't believe what people do with their animals. And this is one, we had a couple last year that we banged the drum.
Yeah.
This one here, 12 years old, who knows how long she's been involved in that type of situation, along with the other animals in there too. Some dead, right?
Yep.
They found them dead.
Yeah, they found deceased animals in there as well.
Yeah. So
horrific.
Let's get going. The people that are listening, let's get going. Anything my family foundation can help out in this way. I mean, she's 12.
Yeah.
We've got to get her to a much better life as she's living her latter years, and especially reading some of the stuff that's gone on with her.
Chessie is open to meeting older dog savvy kids who understand her gentle nature. Obviously, she's a senior dog and are willing to give her the time she needs to adjust. She's a little nervous, and rightfully so. Like, we look at animals sometimes and, well, they don't have like kind of the same process of dealing with stress that we do. Baloney. Yeah. They do. Yeah. She's nervous because she's been neglected. Yeah. So to meet Chessie, you can stop by the shelter any day between noon and 6:30 p.m. All the adoption info is at the Hockey and Hounds homepage, philadelphiaflyers.com/hockey and hounds. We've got to find Chessie a home. And also, we've got the Gritty 5K coming up this weekend. I will not be running, just so you know. The PSPCA will have a Pet the Puppy stop on the course where you can meet some dogs and get info on adoption. Also, Scott Lawton's Gritty T-shirt will be on sale, benefiting the PSPCA. It's the 5K this Saturday morning, the 26th. Just visit philadelphiaflyers.com for all the info. So another great cause. And you got lots involved with the animals now, too.
Yeah, just come see the dogs.
Yeah.
You may not be interested, but you can see how it all works. You can see, I think I call it a family, the family of people that are trying to help in animal welfare, not just dogs, but all animals. You get to meet some pretty interesting people and some caring people, and just to see what it's like. And remember, as we talked about last week, even to foster for a little bit.
Yep.
It's so important.
Chessie's a prime candidate for that.
Prime candidate.
Yep.
Just to get her fed, right? Who knows how long she was in that place the way she was, and just to get some sort of adjustment if you don't want to take on the full responsibility of owning. And it's so important. And this one, I don't know her. I sat here with you for 5 minutes. This is a tough one for me to read her background. We've got to get some people looking at her.
Yeah, you make a good point about just going and
just meet
walking
the people.
dog. Meet the people, because people that treat animals correctly are the people I want to be around.
Yeah.
If you don't, I don't want to be around you.
and they give you ideas too. How to help. They exchange stories, and some people who just are able to have the commitment of fully helping. There are so many little things you can do, and you can find that out by just conversing with the people that are there. So,
and it all helps.
Anything helps.
Yep, absolutely. Again, all the adoption info on Chessie and the other dogs at the Hockey and Hounds homepage, philadelphiaflyers.com/hockey and hounds. But the Bark and Wine Gala is coming up, the 12th annual just over a month away, Saturday, November 2nd at Urban at the Navy Yard. More information is available at the pspca.org. And breaking news, me and the wife will be there.
There you go.
I can't wait. She's looking forward to it as well. Torts, have a great week. Thanks for doing this, and we'll talk next week.
All right, Jason. Good seeing you, bud.